This documentary is based on people's opinion on the vaccine and on the pandemic.
The pandemic is greatly overblown because the actual statistics of sick people don't reflect what the numbers are that they're being published by the media. I have a family member that works in Tampa General Hospital, and they only have 7 cases in the hospital right now. So I think the media is trying to make this worse than it really is. My age group, I'm 78, well, you have to be careful, and I am. We could have other causes that could be working inside our body where the pandemic may activate it and create worse. But people your age and the young woman behind you, I think you're relatively safe. I have a lot of friends who have been tested positive in their 40s and 50s and have suffered nothing more than brief cold symptoms. That's my personal experience. I will not take the virus injection or the when it's available. I don't think there's enough research done on it to make it a valuable thing. It's not something I buy into at this point. I'm healthy, I'm solid, I smoke a cigar every day, and my health is terrific. I work out, and I'm very happy with life right now. And I appreciate the opportunity to share some of my thoughts. I don't think everyone agrees with me, but that's okay. That's why we live in America.
Okay, I don't believe this is the pandemic. They call like that, but because it's not. They say, but it's not.
Everything's been different. Work isn't the same. Everybody's working from home. I have children, and right now they're being homeschooled. I actually benefit from that because I figure that I'd rather raise my children than have somebody else raise them that I'm not really familiar with. So there's been a lot of changes that bring people back to themselves and back to their families. I can't say that it's all bad, but I can see how a lot of people are losing their homes, losing their businesses, and it's bringing a lot of fear within our world. I think about a lot of things sometimes, and I figure that maybe all this fear is being released within the world by somebody else, that us people here on Earth, I don't know, the people here on the ground, the people here that are actually working for these companies and businesses aren't really, they're trying to affect us in different ways,
As far as the vaccine for the pandemic, I'm grateful that they rolled one out so quickly. It's unfortunate it's going to take until spring for it to show its effects and to really start getting our country back to normal. But yeah, I'm grateful that Pfizer, with non-politics involved, rolled that out. And I would take the vaccine. I would take it. It's what you do, if you want to take care of yourself and those around you, especially your family, who are very dear to me. I'm pretty much living my life. I've still got a lot more to do, but I want to take I would take the vaccine if offered. And on the pandemic, it's uncertainty, a lot of uncertainty, and that is, I don't worry about it. I use my faith, and I just hope we don't have to go into another shutdown of schools, because it's my kids, my grandkids, that I'm concerned about. Not so much for myself, but for my family and the generations after us.
My take on the pandemic is it's life-changing. I know I'll never be the same again, and I'll never feel the same as far as dealings in public or even with people. It's awkward to shake hands now, and that's been around for hundreds of years as far as I know. Luckily, they were able to find a vaccine, and me personally, I will not be taking it. I am more so solely based on self-healing plants and herbs and natural organics. But for some people, no doubt it's a lifesaver, and it's definitely a godsend for some people. I just would encourage people to, everyone as a whole, as a community, that we go about things a lot differently. Be more health conscious, wash our hands more, wear your mask in public, if not for your sake, but for the sake of others and those around you. And just try to be as clean and as safe and as conscious as possible, taking all the precautions and just following the new guidelines and the new policies that are set in place.
Well, my thoughts on the pandemic are, it is real. My wife is a medical first responder, and she's well aware of her patients getting it. I've been tested 3 times, haven't gotten it, but it's real. Hopefully, this new vaccine is gonna be a cure-all. I'm not quite sure on that. They rolled out this vaccine and they're giving it to the first responders and some of the elderly. They kind of pumped it out pretty quickly. It's just a wait and see. I don't know what the adverse effects are going to be on it. We're just going to have to, only time will tell with it.
Well, first off, what I think about the vaccine, me personally, I wouldn't take it just because of how high the survival rate is. I do think people older should, because that's who really affected by it. That's all. This is, and I mean, like before the pandemic, that was probably, I guess we had it really easy, because right now it's like a lot harder. It's a lot different. You just keep sitting and waiting when things gonna go back to normal, and it's just never is. You see all these other countries going back to normal, but we're not. And it's like we just in a standstill right now, and don't nobody know what to do. So we just, I guess now everybody just going with the flow now. Like this is gonna be our new life.
I hope everything go out and keep it nice, and the life come back again like before. That might help. Thank you.
I've been asked, would I take the vaccine? Not voluntarily. I'm pretty good on my immune system. I'm not in that age group, but I'm not going to run out and be the first to get the vaccine. I think there are many other people that need it they need it more than I do. There's no doubt about that. So, give it to them. I'll wait in line. It's hard to say how, how we're going to get back into a normal, everyday life after the vaccine. I hope it works. I really do. But, we don't know. We're in some trying times here. Just think about what your life was a year ago. Kind of like memories. That's all we can live on is our memories now. The only thing I can really say, giving people encouragement, follow the guidelines. We don't want to all be sheep, but just, keep yourself safe. Wear a mask. Do I wear? Yes, I wear one because I don't know what everybody else has. Said I've been tested, so I've been pretty good with this. But there are people out there that they're just out. They're just carriers, and we just don't know what's going to happen with them. So I'm more afraid of other people getting it from other people than I am giving it, to these people. So just, be safe, wash your hands, follow guidelines, and, do your best. Let's nip this in the bud. So thank you very much.
What do I think about this vaccine? I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous. What do I think about this vaccine? I think this vaccine is being pushed out to further control. I'm really deep into meditation. I do Reiki work, energy work. So I feel like vaccines can kind of limit our energy from expanding in ways that keep us evolved as human beings, evolved as cosmic beings, and I feel like the more they push these medications into our body, the more control they have over us, and to me that's very scary. So I come out here and I meditate. I smoke some Mary Jane sometimes. I hope that you could cut that, maybe, I don't know, but I come out here and I meditate and I just put all my love into the world because I feel like we have to be the change that we want to be. So I have to push that love, I have to push it out, I have to communicate with others, I have to talk to others, because I feel like this pandemic is getting us to a point to where we're so fearful to communicate with people around us and love people around us. They want us to be afraid, and I can't stand for that. Not myself, I can't do so. My kids can't have a scary father, I tell them I'm a lion. They're like, Daddy lion, Daddy. Yes, that's me. I can't show them fear. I have to show them love, and that's what I want to give to the world. I'm not taking the vaccine. I can't, I won't, because everything that I know is right here in earth, right here in nature. I need plants, I need natural remedies, I need love, I need prayer. I don't need a vaccine to heal me from anything or stop me from getting something that I don't know what it is. This pandemic is crazy because most people only go to the news for their information instead of going within. I can't go by propaganda. I don't know those people that are running the cameras. I don't know their agenda, but I know mine. And I know what I'm trying to put out. And it's not a vaccine. It's not the love that's in that needle. It's a love that people can give me through eye contact, a beautiful smile, a hug, a prayer. So no vaccines here. After the vaccine is rolled out, I think that, oh my goodness, I think that they're going to try to control us in different ways. I feel like we're not going to be able to get vaccines unless we want to, we need vaccines to probably travel, vaccines to get into stadiums for concerts, vaccines to get into schools. I feel like they're going to try to control us there, and that's going to push more people to get that vaccine because people want to be entertained, people want to be distracted. So that's the best way to say, if you want these distractions, take this and you'll be fine. You can take this vaccine and be around people again. You can take this vaccine and love again. You can take this vaccine and be social. And I feel like that's kind of like the same scheme they're doing with the fluoride in the water. Maybe. I don't know. I just think a lot. So those are my thoughts on the vaccine. Sorry for my nervous energy. It's been a while since I communicated with people. It's a blessing. And I appreciate you guys.
The pandemic is a sad time. There's a lot of people dying unexpectedly. It's changing people's way of life. Not being able to spend time with their loved ones. So that's causing a lot of depression, a lot of hurt, especially in the elderly. So it's just super sad, And to see how people are not just affected here, but all over the world is horrible. I never thought in a million years we'd go through a pandemic or through, a lot of things that would just have to change suddenly.
My thoughts on the coronavirus pandemic are that I believe it's the biggest hoax ever perpetrated in the history of mankind. It's a respiratory infection, very similar to the flu. I've done a lot of independent research on it. I've heard doctors from all different countries that are very credible say that there's nothing that can be done to stop the spread. Masks do nothing to prevent the spread of the virus. The best evidence, I would say, comes out of Sweden. They did very limited mask wearing. In fact, they encouraged no mask wearing only for people that were extreme risks, which is what I believe should be done. It should be treated just like a bad flu season, in that people that have comorbidity or have pre-existing conditions that could be at severe risk should take precautions, such as staying home if they're truly afraid of the virus. My wife and I both actually had it in February and March, and it, like I said, was just a bad flu. And her parents both got it, and they're doing just fine. I think the statistics say that 99.9% of people, if you're under the age of 75, are going to come out just fine. So I think that people should not wear masks unless they believe that they are at severe risk. I think that we never should have shut down the economy. I think that it was done to give the people that want power more power. It gave them a significant political presence in that their name was getting out a lot, and that's why we've seen open, close, open, close. I've listened to Dr. Fauci from the beginning, and first he said that masks were no good, then he said masks were good. I've heard the director of the CDC say that masks are better than the vaccine, which I think is completely wrong. The vaccines that I've heard from Pfizer and other companies are going to increase your T cells, and they're going to introduce the virus into your body, which is going to essentially make you immune. So I think that we should return to normal as soon as possible, open the economy up, and I think that we're all going to be just fine. And that's it.
I think, life as we know it will be different. Hopefully we can get back as close to the norm as possible. To my understanding, I think a lot of things will be different. But if we all go about this with caution and we take heed to the advice and the suggestions given by those who know what they're talking about, I think we would all be ultimately, better off and on the way back to the norm, if you will. And I'd just like to, again, encourage people to become more conscious of your current health. You don't always have to depend on what they're giving you. There are natural remedies, and there are ways that you can protect yourself and safeguard your immune system.
They have a new vaccine coming out, and I guess what I think about it is that compared to all of the vaccines made before, it's kind of created it was created quickly, rather quickly. So compared to other vaccines, it's like there's a lot of uncertainty and questions, to ask and to see what's going on with it. I definitely don't have the answers to these things, but it's just kind of weird how quickly it's been created and how much push there is for it without too much assurance, like they'll say somebody died from it or somebody got Bell's palsy from it, and it's like that doesn't seem too safe. So I don't know.
I think that the pandemic has just been the worst thing that I've ever gone through, that any of us have ever gone through in modern memory. We've all throughout these years, we've been on the upsurge, our economy was picking up, and then this pandemic hit, and it just all came crashing down. I remember back when it was just 14 days to flatten the curve, and we were all just hoping that it would be over in a snap, but it just stretched on longer and longer, and it's just been hard, and so many people have lost so many freedoms from it. I speak to people who come from places like Michigan and New York, and they keep telling me about how they can't go to restaurants and they just don't have much freedoms where they are up north, and it's just hard. I do have some hope with the new vaccine, but I feel cautiously wary. I'm glad that we're at a point where we have a vaccine. It's amazing that we were able to make a vaccine so quick, but speaking personally, my plan is to wait and see what happens when others take it before I think about taking it myself. I'd love to take it. I'd love to be able to say that I have this vaccine, but I just want to see how it works for other people before I even think about taking it myself. Hopefully, after this vaccine is over, hopefully after this pandemic is over, once we see that the vaccine is working, assuming that it does, and things are on its course, we'll be more careful about hygiene just in general. I think that the COVID-19 pandemic has left its mark on the world, and we'll just be more careful, but we'll also be more appreciative of just the smaller joys in life, like just being able to shake each other's hands and the smiles on people's faces, and even buffets in buffet style restaurants. It's stupid, but it's a real joy, these small things that we've all taken for granted, and it'll be nice to get back to the way things were. I think that things will get better. No horrible thing has lasted forever. We've been through world wars, and they've come to an end. We've been through all sorts of calamities, and this isn't the first plague that the world has been through, but things are going to get better.
How I feel about this pandemic that's going on. Well, first of all, it's affecting a lot of people. I actually moved to Tampa back last year, right before it kicked off, so I haven't been able to see my son. I had a lot of family members, an uncle and a cousin pass away in the same week from it. I just feel people need to actually follow the precautions, because it's not only about you, it's about everybody around you.
So just make sure you're keeping yourself safe, but also keeping those around you safe. Some of us may never ever catch it, but we can be carriers. So you gotta be alert and you gotta be aware. As far as the vaccine, I can't really speak on it. I just have to sit back and see what happens. I pray that it works. I pray that we see a success with it. As far as me taking it, I see no reason to. I've had no symptoms, no problems. I do everything I need to make sure I'm not affecting nobody else. I just pray that everybody else move accordingly.
Action.
Okay, what are my thoughts about this pandemic? Well, I think everything was planned. Number one thing is this actually was very well planned years ago. As you know, there's evidence. For example, when Bill Gates, how come 5 years ago, in 2015, he talked about exactly what's going to happen during the 2020 pandemic. So my thing is that I truly believe that everything was planned, and also many of the things that they made us do, the first thing is to scare us, and the media was willing, obviously, to play with it, along with it, and to scare people off. And I truly believe that there's actually a virus. Yeah, it's true. I cannot deny that, but it's too much they have said about it. I think actually even the death, I don't believe them in the amount of death, because I have not one but several testimonies of people who have died, but not precisely of COVID. So actually, I truly believe that this was not something that came out of nothing, and you should be scared of other viruses the other way around, like the flu, and probably the flu kills more people than actually the COVID.
I thought the response was botched. I think that if you look at countries like South Korea or Japan, they had their cases around the same time as the U.S. and they ended up having a much better response. South Korea and the U.S. had their first case on the same day, and right now they're sports fans packed into stadiums right now in South Korea. Also, I am a little relieved that the virus death rate was only about 1%, even though the hospitalization rate I know is much higher. Just simply because if it was something like SARS or MERS, it would be much more serious. I've had like a 20 or 30% death rate, and I am really concerned about what the next pandemic is going to look like, and I really hope we learn from this, so that if the next pandemic, if it's more deadly, then it is good that we at least had this to learn from. When the vaccine comes out, I'm absolutely going to take it. I'm going to take it as soon as I can. I mean, I want to do my part, no matter how small it is. I want to make sure that my family is protected. I want to make sure that I'm protected. I'm not very likely to die from COVID, but I know I can spread it to other people, and I want to make sure that I don't do that. I think it's vaccine skepticism. It's something that we kind of have the privilege of in the developed world. I was listening to BBC the other day, and they were saying in India people will line up for hours and walk tens of kilometers just to get a vaccine for their kids, and that they don't really have the luxury of vaccine skepticism here. So, I think it's horrible, vaccine skepticism. I think, everybody needs to take the vaccine, and we need to get it up to 80% so that this pandemic can end. I mean, once it's over, like I said, I hope we just learn from it. I hope that the next pandemic, isn't as serious. I hope that we can get it under control. Then those are my thoughts.
As far as this vaccine goes, I feel things will go back to normal. People being productive, being out in the streets, getting work and their normal daily duties accomplished. But as far as the vaccine, like I said, it depends on if it works. We can't really know until it's tried and proven. So people just got to be patient and see what happens. I wish wish blessings to everybody, and I hope that you're giving love, respect, and honor to yourself and to all those around you. You have a blessing. Thank you.
I believe that this has helped us, this experience has helped us to come together and, on one hand, we see that this disease doesn't discriminate and that we all need to take the proper steps to take care of ourselves, and we just need to know just who is on our side, and it's important that we grow from this, and we will. Bad things happen for a reason, and pick yourself up. You're stronger than ever, and you move forward, and life eventually gets better than it used to be. It's just like pruning a bush, you cut, but then the branch grows taller and stronger than it was before. And that's the way that human society is going to be, because it's affected us on a global scale. And we're just going to learn so much, we're going to be better for it.
Action.
I wish everyone peace and love, happiness and prosperity in these trying times, and let's do what we can as a whole to get back to a place where we can live safer and healthier.
And regarding to the vaccine, I truly believe also that that's not gonna save us. That's another issue that they want to scare us, that we should take the vaccine. They're trying to obligate you to, that you must take it. And obviously I won't do it, precisely because I truly believe that's another way around, either to reduce the population, or they're gonna bring more diseases. I don't know what. Or it's afforded the government, not the local government, but the world government, they're planning to do such a way, either to reduce the population or to keep control over the population. So definitely, I won't take it. I won't take any vaccine. So I don't believe in that vaccine. And my recommendation, even as a parent, I tell my children, my wife, we're not going to take that vaccine, no matter what. And I know that's a form that they're going to try to control everyone. But you must know your rights. And your right, that doesn't make you, obligate you to take, they're going to put you that vaccine. So they cannot force you. They can, push you, but they cannot force you to take the vaccine, and because it's your right, you have your own right, and do whatever you can to not take it, because you never know. And from what I have read and seen about this vaccine, it has some actually different issues that comes after you take it. So I won't take any chance. And my recommendation to you is about this: be informed, not by the mass media, because everything that they tell you is to scare you. Everything that they tell you is not true. Everything that they tell you, there's some part that is true, but others not. And what they're trying to make you is to scare you and to confine you and take your rights away from you. And that's a form that the government, not the local government, but the world, I truly believe that this organization is a war organization that is trying to force you and force many other countries to come forward. and push this way of form of control, because what they want is to take away from us our rights as citizens of this world, of this country, or whatever country you live. That's what they're trying to do. So be aware, be informed, and read a lot about it. Listen to facts, not the facts that the media plays, but there are many facts that you can find in different some social media, but as well as YouTube. I mean, you can find definitely a lot of information that's where you find the balance. So my recommendation is keep informed. Inform yourself with the information.